Alright guys, today we are going to be taking a look at the Blue Yeti. The first thing I want to point out about this microphone is the size of it. If you look at it in a picture, it looks quite small depending on what size you've got the picture blown up to on your computer screen. But if you compare it to something, you start to realize that it's not a small microphone by any sense of the means. There's a Xbox controller. I have pretty big hands, and this is overall just a big microphone. I'm gonna have to scoot my camera back a little bit to try to get this thing completely in the frame because it's quite a large microphone. I should actually turn it towards me so that I get the best audio quality off this, since I am actually using this right now to record this audio, so you get a good kind of idea of how it sounds. Looking from top to bottom, we've got the actual part where the sound goes in, where the actual microphone diaphragms themselves are in here. Down here is all the circuitry and everything that makes the electricity into sound waves, or the sound waves into electricity, and then they go into your computer and it processes all that, As for the actual outside, you've got a mute button. When it's full on like that, that actually means that it is not muted. Now, real quick, I'm going to press this button, and you will see what it looks like when it is muted. Alright guys, so as you just saw, it flashes when you actually do mute the microphone. Next, down here, we've got a volume knob. That is for your headphone output, which is a perfect transition into looking at the bottom of the microphone, and I kind of have to stand up and talk over this so I get decent audio through the microphone still. But what we've got here is the micro, I think it's micro, it might be mini, but it's a micro or mini USB port. You've got a standard sized microphone threaded mount for if you're going to use the shock mount on this, or if you're going to use a mic boom or anything. And you've got a headphone output port to listen to yourself through it, to give you that feedback on how the volume and the tones are sounding. If you're, podcasting with this, or even if you're recording, that's inconvenient for me to use right now since I've got to move around a little bit for this and move the microphone. But other times I do use that. Alright guys, I'm going to turn this around. Well, actually, this is probably sounding really terrible because it's bumping on the desk and everything, and it picks up every slight little noise. Like, just a bump on the desk really makes it, it gives you a lot of sound. And one more thing is this nice stand. It's really weighted. It's quite heavy, and it keeps the microphone nice and upright. And it also, as I'm sure you could have figured out by now during this video, it does move, and you can adjust it. As for the back, I don't know how the audio is going to sound at this part, but on the back you've got a gain knob that you've got a gain knob, which is it's kind of like a volume knob as to what it's recording. So if you're sitting kind of far away or you're talking kind of quiet, you turn that up more to get the volume to go through to your computer better without so much fuzziness, so you don't have to boost it up a lot later so it doesn't sound all terrible. And then right below that you've got your pattern select. You've got 4 different options. I forget what each specific one does, but on the box for the Blue Yeti itself, it tells you what all those options for, and I've determined that the cardioid setting, which is that one right there that I've got it set to, I've determined that that is the best for my particular situation. Alright guys, that's kind of the overview of all the different features of this. Now to the actual kind of review of what I think of this. I have noticed that it is a really good high quality microphone. Now one of the things I don't like is that it picks up everything. You have to sit away from your desk and not touch your desk in order to have it not transmit the bumps through the microphone. And that gets kind of annoying but there is a remedy for that. It's called the shock mount. It's basically a circle. It's a circle and then a circle outside of it, and it's connected with basically a rubber band. And it makes it so that the movement on the desk gets isolated through the rubber band and that doesn't go into the microphone itself. But that is like $40 extra, and I don't know. I'll buy it someday for this, but it's not a top priority kind of thing. And I just wish they had a better option just built in. But another thing that I guess you might not like is that there's no included software. You have to get your own, and that's not particularly a problem for me. I just figured I'd state that in the review so you guys know that for sure. But it does not come with software. However, I am currently using Audacity to record this. It's a free software, and it works perfectly fine. It's what I've used in all my videos that I've used this microphone in. One more little kind of thing about it, I would have to say, is the lack of the XLR port on the bottom, but the Blue Yeti Pro does have that if you want XLR out, which is more of a professional type audio output. I'm thinking about buying one of those in the future, but I've got more important things that I'm saving up to buy right now. So I don't know, that's somewhere around the corner, but for now I'm staying with this thing. And the USB output will do just fine because I don't even have an XLR thing to record with, any sort of audio interface for XLR. But when I do, I'll be using it to make my commentaries and everything to get better sound. And I'll move the regular Blue Yeti I'll get a boom mount for it, so when I'm doing unboxings I can hang it in front of my face and get better audio during my unboxings. But, yeah guys, you can get these on Amazon for $100, and the ultimate decision comes down to you. This is, honestly, I didn't even need this thing. It's quite overkill for what I do, so you really got to think about... Oh, there's a hair on my lens. Hold on. Just noticed that. Okay. It's probably wasn't even in the video, but whatever. Okay, you really got to think about, is this going to benefit you particularly? Because the built-in microphone on a laptop is absolute garbage, okay? Don't use that unless you're just web chatting with someone. But there is the Blue Snowball that you can use, and I would recommend that probably if you're just doing quick little videos. But if you're really if you're an enthusiast in this kind of thing, like you really like your videos to be top-notch, top quality, everything, then this is definitely for you. And if you're just the absolute over-the-top pro, which honestly, you don't need that for YouTube. Like if you're the over-the-top pro, that would be for a studio type thing that I'm talking about. So if you run a studio, then go get the Yeti Pro, or, you know, some other microphone. But if you're just looking for something that interfaces through USB quick and easy and sounds fantastic if you know how to use it properly, get the Yeti. That's the bottom line. It's $100 on Amazon, which, you know, it's kind of expensive for just a microphone, but it's also kind of cheap when you think about what some of the microphones out there run for, like the ones that are used in music studios. They run for thousands of dollars, so $100 for a nice sounding microphone that easily interfaces with a computer is a pretty good deal. So just the two things to keep in mind is that you probably either want to get a shock mount or just stay away from your desk when you're recording with this, and also remember that it does not come with software, so you're going to want to probably download Audacity would be my recommendation. It's quite easy to learn if you need to use it. So alright guys, this has been the review of the Blue Yeti. If you want to see the unboxing of the Blue Yeti, link to that in the description. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and leave me a comment. If you want to see more of my videos, please click the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next videos.